online, offline. Mustaine was there ready to roll. And right now he's going to be facing against a player that is such a veteran. I remember watching Mr. E sets all the way back to Smash 4, you know, in Evo and doing some work. Mr. E is pretty cool, pretty chill dude, and I like to watch him play with the Lucina. He has been steering a bit more though towards the Aegis, so that has been working out pretty nicely for him. You know, it's pretty much a similar situation. You got your swords, but you also have to be playing around the Pyra, Mythra switches, knowing when to go for more power or more speed. And right now he is facing the Mustaine Terry. So such a classic. I think they're just waiting to make sure that, yeah, this is just a button check because something is wrong. But I don't know if they will actually start in Final Destination. That would be interesting.
Exactly. I mean, working on with starting Final Destination is a little bit not odd, but really is like usually the standard is, you know, Town City,
Pokemon Stadium 2.
Exactly. So, and generally speaking, Pokemon Stadium 2. So, rolling up, never mind.
Yeah, there we go. That's more like it.
If you wanted us to look bad, well, you've done it. I wasn't expecting him to just roll up to so casually to PS2. I think it makes sense. Maybe because of blast zones, but right now we're going to start with a quick one. Pyra from Mr. E against the Terry from a Mustaine. So let's see how they're able to do. Right now, we're looking at an offstage situation.
Oh no, just like that? Just like that?
He had his jump, but right now, Mr. E just making sure it gets off quickly. Maybe he wants some carne asada. He smells it on the air, and he's like, I gotta get some. I gotta get some carne asada, my friend. So trying to make this as quick as possible so he can get some lunch in time.
It's actually lunchtime in Mexico for at least the center part of it, the main time zone. However, Mr. E is already looking pretty good in this set. I think he's able to control Terry's approaches really well. You know, that sword is big, and the disjoints definitely help when it comes to not taking too much damage, although right now he's going to get the classic into the power dunk, able to use the sword again to not let Mustaine feel too comfortable, trying to set up a ledge trap or anything else. And the thing is that the go meter is already full, and now Mustaine can get really down and dirty, and you see it right away, the Buster. Well, she is still okay, but now the percentages are even. However, let's not forget that Mr. E was able to find a quick stock, working to figure out how to get off the ledge and able to go back to center stage, but dodging the grab with a nice jump right there. Although Mustaine, you know, he's hunting, you know, he wants to find the power gauge or something, and actually going back to Mythra just to be sure that he has that extra mobility that is going to allow him to win the neutral interaction.
Absolutely. The goal is already in play. One mistake and this could be over. Look at that. The conversion, it's going to be up and beyond. First stock from Mr. E is going to be taken, but look at that. Mustaine is not losing time. He's starting to rack up as much percentage as possible. Oh, try to read. Oh my god, but the up smash. The up smash is not going to stop. Well, it's going to stop momentarily Mustaine as he is now on this last stock. Mr. E looking to wrap up this. Managing to really create his space, but at the same time, oh, great DI. Now it's punish time. Double dash attack. Wanted to go for that down there. Not going to be quite able to make it, but look at that. Utilizing that OP. Oh, wanted to go with the air dodge directly into the stage to continue racking up some damage. But now last stock situation for both of these players. And now Mustaine starting to rack up damage. Only a 10% difference now. Mustaine racking up and playing strong.
Well, Mr. E, he lost the advantage for the first time since the game started. Now down a little bit in percent. There's no way that this is going to go to a timeout because both of these characters are highly explosive. However, Mustaine clawing his way back, and now with a 15% lead. That was kind of risky, but able to get away. And now just a bit of those flames to keep him at bay. However, the big sword also coming through, and oh, that was very risky, but at least he farmed the go meter, so that is now an option that he's got. If he had that one read on the Buster Wolf that he went for before losing the last stock, that could have killed Mr. E at like 50, so you know those moves are strong. And speaking of, just to confirm, into the Buster Wolf, this time she is not okay. Mr. E is going to be dropping that first game to Mustaine, that even though he was at a disadvantage for most of that game one, he knows it. He knows that he just has to make use of the go meter whenever it's available, and as long as he's not too far behind, he can always catch up.
What a way to absolutely turn the tide. This could have been just a quick 3-0. Especially talking about Mustaine was handling the first 2 stocks, but right after, what a surprise. Just switch of events. Now we're heading to the second game once again into Pokemon Stadium 2, and it really depends on how Mustaine plays this again. Oh, the roll in, but it immediately punishes the punish and denies even more damage from Mr. E. We'll see the switches, and I just love how Mr. E is able to really make his switches in time.
Oh, wow.
What a great conversion from Mustaine, taking that first stock from Mr. E.
And he looked like he knew exactly what he had to do and executed it with such precision that I didn't even know that was actually going to be able to connect. But he just took it like it was like a manual of instructions. Go from here, point A to point B, and then you end it like this. So this time it is Mustaine that's going to have an early lead, and now he has the go meter to work with. You know that he's not afraid to use it, since that's what got him that last stock during game 1. Mr. E looking for a way to not let him capitalize on it. But oh my god, just as I say that, the power geyser, that is not enough. But you know how it goes for Scylla. It's not about necessarily getting the KO, but that definitely did send a message. And oh, that was the game 1 special all over again.
That was not a message. That was a statement. A whole statement for everyone to see. Now it is a completely different scenario for what we were seeing on that first game. And Mustaine is just absolutely having the upper hand. Look at that. Just making sure everyone... Oh,
the classic.
Yep, really like that. Great stuff by Mr. E, but he has still another stock to get rid of, and he needs to do it ASAP, my friend.
And I love how chat's going on about the Mr. Encyclopedia from the Yoshi game that they rebuilt in the Direct. The original Mr. E is the one that's fighting for his life right now. But oh, look at that landing and not able to get the stock. The go meter is again online, but he's already at over 100%. So this is looking a bit rough. You know, any mistake at this point can cost him his life. And oh, this time he does not get it. I'm not sure if this is because Mr. E wasn't quite on the ground when he got hit by the first the jab, but he is still living, and he's also able to secure himself another stock. However, Mr. E has to play it perfectly. For those of you that were not aware, as we see the jab power dong not connecting, Mr. E has been living in the beautiful state of Puebla, and so far, whenever he goes to locals or all of that, any tournament that he participates in, he is rocking the Pyra Mythra. However, now that he's down 0-2, it kind of makes you wonder for Scylla if he might want to switch to the Lucina, you know, the one that has been his main for so long now.
Absolutely. I mean, let me tell you, as a local, Mr. E, like you said, rocking that Lucina in really just key scenarios against some players, but now it all depends, right? We're looking at a 2-0 deficit. Mr. E could bring out that Lucina, but it all depends, of course, on the matchup. I think he might be able to remain with the Aegis combo, you know, but Mustaine is just looking so dominant, especially after that that second game. And what could have been on that first game, you know, a game for Mr. E quickly switched into a worse nightmare. And it seems like I told you, it seems that we will be remaining on the Aegis for this third game on this.
Well, so he's sticking it out. I guess that it also means that Mr. E, he wants to have that tournament experience. He wants to make sure that the Aegis is on point, and it makes sense. It's one thing to use her at the locals, and not saying that the level is not good, but it's definitely not the same as a regional. This is a really big tournament where we have people from all over Mexico, and some people that are not even from Mexico, like Mr. E himself, going for the gold. And oh my God, speaking of going for, he just went for it, catching her, and then sending it all the way down to the Shadow Realm. So again, Mustaine, after, that's very funny, after he was down for most of game one, he was able to get it, and I think ever since game 2 started, he has not lost his lead for a single moment, although right now struggling a little bit, but with the go meter online.
Absolutely. Now the worst nightmare, the worst scenarios could turn true for Mr. E. The advantage is clear right now. 100% on the spot. Now a little bit of damage. Offstage situation. But it all depends how they're able to handle it. No upper. Mustaine able to escape another one, but this one do connect. Unfortunately, it won't be the case. Now the punish is open. Mustaine can do some damage. Mythra on the case, but the LB, that could have been a big punish opportunity for Mustaine, but it doesn't matter. Are you okay? Offset situation. Look at that. He's gonna try to get either a trauma or maybe some spacing. Able to get it, but gets a little bit of punish. Use it. Oh, absolutely correct movement and maneuver right there. This could be another stock, and look at that. It is going to be 3-1 stocks, and this could be the last stock of Mythra in the winners bracket, as it is starting to rack up the pain percentage, and of course the results that Terry is besting up this Aegis in Delfino Raza. The up smash finally close up the stock, sorry, after 188%.
And Chad is mentioning it. Going Final Destination is a choice because I feel like you hear it a lot. You'd never want to go Final Destinations against, for example, Kazuya. But I think with Terry, the FGC characters can put in a lot of work in these flat stages. And right now, another power dunk that is going to put Mr. E already at 100%, almost exactly with that, just 0.1. But the damage keeps piling on, and he doesn't seem to be finding any answers. Right now, Mustaine is obviously looking to close it out, but that would be a 3-0, and a handshake for Mustaine to get his place into top 16, as we see the Pyra just trying to find one of those there, something that can connect into a big hit. But again, if he doesn't get the stock quickly, that just means that there's going to be a go meter to worry about. Able to find the ledge, but I was expecting Mustaine to go for something crazy, not going for anything. He doesn't need to risk much, especially now that Versila, I'm scared because that go meter is ready to roll.
Absolutely, that go is ready to go at any given moment at once.
Oh no.
Wow. I mean, that just was it. Covered every single option. Roll, attack, jumping, everything. There was not that big of a chance for escaping it, and Mr. E just took it. Mr. E unfortunately drops down to a lower bracket, and that means Mustaine continues with a really dominant 3-0 on this winner's bracket here today on the Delfino Raza main bracket. That is, of course, the single bracket. And what a statement, my friend. That was a really strong statement.
Well, Mustaine is going to need to keep going with the A game, because that means that from the last set that we saw before this one, he's going to have to be facing Spargo for the winner's top 8. So that is no small feat to be able to beat Mr. E, even though it was with the Aegis, but a 3-0 on Mr. E. And now he's got to measure himself up against the man Spargito and looking to take down the number 1 seed. So we'll see how that goes. However, before that, we have some more sets from the top 32, and they're already letting us know production. Thank you very much. We are going to be seeing Alan Diz. So we already mentioned him, and there's sort of this holy trinity from Tijuana. There's a lot of talent in Tijuana, but the three people that I think are being talked about the most are obviously Spargo. We already mentioned a lot of Waka. And then completing that trio is, of course, Alan This with the Snake. However, in front of him, he's going to have Maso. So for the people that don't know him, he is a Meta Knight main that took down one of the players that you might know. Maso actually got an upset on Nair. So the Meta Knight Ridley matchup, I think that sounds kind of really bad for Ridley.